All right, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week. We got Bill here. You got an announcement for?
No.
I tried. That was a good one, Bill.
Start off right.
All right. We got to thank Southampton Motor Speedway.
They took good care of. Well, didn't take good care of us, but they gave us a good time out there. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Pepsi for supplying our drinks. Right. WALTRIP Pressure Washing Solutions. Hunter didn't have a good weekend.
Hunter may have some problems, you know.
Looked like he was getting a little hot. I looked and seen all that water coming in the truck. And I was like, where'd that water come from? It's like, that's probably the radiator. Although as close as the wall looked, it might have been the radiator halfway in the truck. Turn 2 synthetics. We got to thank GRIER and Associates with Mean Dean Automotive. And where are they at, Jack?
That place in Carolina. I can't think what it is.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
He can't say Moyoc.
Really?
I forgot what he said the first time. I said, where? He's like, Moyoc?
So I just keep my mouth shut now. I don't even try to say it.
I think Safety Clean, Performance Plus Motor Oil, Bill Mullis, Chuck Hall for allowing us to do the show here. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. One day Jack's gonna get us some product, and we're gonna do some shots here one day.
All right.
Maybe.
My plan is to have some here next. Well, ain't now Eagle's coming. I forgot about that. That was my plan, but anyway.
Mayhem Management, MPM Marketing, Black Acid Racing Apparel, and they're doing cruise shirts now. They hooked us up with some cruise shirts. I mean, these are pretty nice shirts, Bill.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, it's a little more comfortable than that shirt. Let's see. We got to thank Gen X Motorsports. The show is presented by Gen X Driver Development and Race Rental Program. Man, I see those guys everywhere.
They're tied in now to Peyton Sellers, and Davey Callahan is driving for Peyton Sellers some now. So it's,
What's the world come to?
I don't know. That just goes to show that they'll have
Money will buy anything.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how the money deal is on Davey Callahan's thing, but I'm sure the benefit somewhere.
I just can't believe they just gave him a ride. I'm sure he had to write a check.
I don't know. I ain't gonna say yay or nay on that one.
We love giving people a hard time. Slinger Speed, if you want shirts from your local guy, local t-shirt guy. VA 811 will have Brian Morehouse in the house next week. Factory Canopies and Fluid Logic. And dinners provided by Papa John's, Better Ingredients, Better Pizza. GAC, Great American Company, and I think Guillermo Amaya. Is that how you say it?
Guillermo.
Yeah.
Guillermo.
That's how you say it too, Bill.
And you missed one.
That's why I was going to say. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who did I miss?
The new one today. We got the stuff from today.
I don't see it up here. There. You didn't do a good job, Jack. I see a truck.
That's it. That's the one. That's the only sign he had.
Gator, great. You can't even read it. Sammy Gator. Go see Sammy Gator if you need a banner. Gotta thank Sammy for hooking us up with a banner.
The dude got all that stuff. And all that stuff.
Did he send you this?
No, that's the only thing he had. He don't even have it on the door down there. I mean, that's all he had. I saw that. I
was like, well, Jack, that must be a mistake.
It is a pretty blurry picture.
I seen it. I was like, no, I just skipped right over it. Damn, Sammy. Sammy makes some good stuff, and that's what you gonna promote him with?
What? Yeah. That's all I can do for him when I can't find nothing else. I mean,
he made our shirts this year. He
did
a really nice job. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Sammy's got a lot of stuff out there. It's funny how.
And then the bad part about it is I didn't even know he did that stuff until last week.
Really?
What's up, Donald Brown?
last week was the first.
I know. I had to ask him, like, what all do you do, Sammy? Because, like, one time you're getting out of the sign business and you're doing the vape stuff, or I do it all.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the shop today and they got the vape stuff, and he's got all these machines.
Did you get you some vape stuff?
No. They got all these printing things to make the banners and stuff like that, and then he's got his embroider machines in the back.
You're right about that.
He's got some stuff now, I'm gonna tell you. All right, let's do some news before we get to Bill. In the Cup Series this past weekend, they were at Watkins Glen. William Byron got the win. Chase Elliott didn't have enough gas to finish, so glad William did.
And Lee Pulliam made it clear that they were not calling the shots for Chase on Sunday.
Well, I had a talk. Had a talk. I talked with somebody from down there, and there's a lot of upset people over that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of upset people down there in Denver Motorsports right now over that.
Pretty big mistake.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling it's gonna have some repercussions.
Do you think
Down the road.
crew chief might be looking for another job?
Well, I don't know if he's gonna be looking for another job, but he may be looking for a new driver. They may change things around from what I'm hearing. Anyway, that's just hearsay. The Xfinity winner was Sam
I thought
Mayer.
that's what we were. Hearsay. We'll say anything.
There's a whole bunch of hearsay going on down
We'll
in
say
Charlotte
anything
right
we
now.
hear.
There's a whole bunch going on down. I understand that Tony Stewart and his group has got some issues there. That they're getting ready to make some moves and make some changes. Team-wise, the cars, they're Fords now. I understand that they will possibly go back to Chevrolet because Tony and the leader at Ford that they deal with,
They ain't getting along.
they don't get along too well right now.
Tony doesn't get along with somebody? That's what.
So anyway, that's one of the things they're talking about. That and they're also talking about cutting back to 2 cars next year because they may not have the sponsorship for all those other cars.
Yeah, I heard he might be selling one of the
Charters. Yeah,
and
And it's-
23 XLs looking to buy one.
yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's
Well,
The
who would be
rumors-
left? I mean, you got.
Well, Amarola's-
Josh Berry's coming back. I mean, he's obviously got a ride.
yeah. He's got a ride. Amarola is coming out.
Well, that was still kind of.
Well,
Well, he's had one foot out the door the last 2 years.
I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's a rumor anymore. I think all except him getting out there and saying I'm not coming back.
Yeah,
He's
and I know Smithfield Foods
is pulling out.
It looked like they're going to another team.
Well, they're
Possibly.
pulling out of that team. That's all I
Yeah,
can take.
I know they were shopping them. Well, we knew Corey LaJoy was being shopped with them with Smithfield Foods, but that didn't go anywhere. It doesn't seem like.
And they're supposed to be doing was it a Nissan test?
Ooh.
Was it Nissan?
That's right. I know that.
There is at Martinsville coming up either this week or next week. They're going to be testing a new car that may be coming out.
NASCAR's testing?
Yes,
I hadn't heard that one.
yes, I heard that.
Sure, I'll
Just
go
keep
before that's right.
your eyes open. It's
Okay, we won't say anything about
don't say a word.
it.
I think it's Nissan anyway. All right, Sam Mayer won the Xfinity race. Understand that him and Ty Gibbs are not going to be talking to each other at Christmas time. The ARCA race was won by Jesse Love. Another one of those last lap passes again. Got him his 7th win this year. In the Cars Tour at Tri-County, Landon Huffman got his first Cars Tour win in the late model stock cars, and in the pro late models, Caden Quapple got the win. In the SRX cars, they were at I-55 in Wheatland, Missouri. Jonathan Davenport, a dirt racer, got the win, and the championship went to Ryan Newman. At Florence, Matt Cox got the win in the late models. At Lonesome Pine, in the late models, Colby Higgins is the champion, and the winners of the race was Blaine Harrison and Kyle Dudley. In Orange County, the modifieds, our buddy Dale Ogborn, was on our show. He's done one of the last 2 races he's been in after he's been on the show.
So you're taking credit for
I'm
it?
taking every bit of credit I can get for it. At Sobo,
Too bad you didn't interview Bill the other week.
No doubt.
Sobo, Peyton Sellers got the late model win. Down at Bowman Gray, after the fight was over with and they pronounced the winners, Brandon Ward got the championship in the modifieds. Everybody got a little excited down there.
Yeah. There was a big ass group there about to go down. Looked like.
Did you see the car go over? Did you see the modified that went over the guardrail?
No.
One modified got pushed up and he went slam over the guardrails and was sitting on the other side of the guardrail.
Mm.
And the girl and that guy in the, well, I don't know what kind of division they are in, sportsman or whatever. She was trying to wreck him, and they both ended up wrecking, and one went down through the pit area.
They tore up a whole lot of shit after the caution was out. I'm like, damn, that was about $3,000.
Huh?
I was just thinking when they were running each other, I'm like, that's $3,000 there. That's another $500.
At Natural Bridge Speedway, the sprint cars, the Virginia sprint cars, or whatever they call them now, Aaron Leach got the win up at.
What about that?
That was a pretty good win for him. At Wake County, late model winner Daniel Buncannon. At Dominion Raceway, Virginia racer number 1, Alex Brock. Number 2 race was Reed Murphy. The modifieds, Cadel Searles. The Virginia modifieds, Shannon Morano. In the legends, Connor Weedell. And Bando's Brian
Seaweed.
Runstrom Jr. I don't know where Brian run. I think he's won at every racetrack he goes to. I don't think he won at Charlotte. At Langley Speedway, late model races, 1 and 2. Greg Edwards got both wins this past week, beating
Now,
Connor
who thought
Hall.
that was going to happen?
Not me.
Nobody.
Not me. And when Connor got back around him in that race, I was thinking, okay, that's it. Connor's going to check out. That didn't happen. Greg went right back, waited a few laps and got right back by him again. In the Virginia racers, Jacob Derrick got the win. What happened, Spark?
I killed my right ear.
Okay. In the Enduros, Alex Floroff. In the trucks, Chase McAdams, and we sure feel sorry for old Hunter Waltrip.
That was a hard hit.
That was a very hard hit.
Definitely.
In the Pro 6, Travis Wall.
Thanks
Who
to
else?
a spotter.
Who else? Oh yeah, got.
He did all the work. He did all the work.
It looked like
He said 5 words on the radio.
That's about it. Yeah.
in the champ carts, Jordan Valdez got the win. I don't think they have 6 champ carts here this week. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, we had a discussion about that.
In the driver of the week this week, Greg Edwards got driver of the week. I don't think anybody but one
Well,
person.
I think if you dethrone Connor, I think you deserve driver
I
of the
was
week.
getting ready to say, I don't think anybody else, got a vote.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So anyway, and also want to take a minute and think about Tommy Baldwin. Understand he has cancer and he's going to shut his Kings down for right now to get
Yeah,
through
it must
that.
be pretty serious.
And
Sounds like it.
so I hate to hear that, but that's what I'm hearing. So hope everything goes well with Tommy and gets well soon and we get him back to racing, get him back to the track again.
Yeah.
Is
Anyway,
his son still racing?
yes, he is.
I ain't heard nothing much about him lately.
Yeah, Luke Baldwin. He's I don't think he's won but a couple races, but little small races. I don't think he's won any.
Yeah.
But and that's the news. So we got Bill Aker here, the man with the closest finish in Langley Speedway history.
Is that true?
That's what I was told.
Wow.
What was it?
I think somebody told me point. Was it point
Yeah,
zero
I'd have to.
14 or something like that?
Now, what was going through your mind when you were coming off of 4 there? I mean, that looked like
There were some cuss words coming out of my mouth. I'm gonna tell you that because I immediately felt my tire go. When Tim got up underneath me and tried to, look, he was trying to win the race, and as he should. But the end of his nose got my valve stem, knocked it off.
Oh, wow.
Which deflated the tire immediately, which I felt it immediately, of course. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, I'm going to lose this race on this dumb stuff. But I just said, you know what? I'm just going to hammer down, turn right, and see what happens. And if the start finish line was I don't know, 5 feet down further, I'd have lost. So
0.064.
it was definitely 0.064.
0.064.
So yeah, that was.
But y'all
And
were
they
3
got a,
wide,
and
right?
they-
I mean,
3 wide. Well, because Tim, you know, he was trying not to. He got real loose too, which allowed Paul to get up underneath both of us,
That was
and
pretty cool,
they got some really great pictures of it.
mhm.
And you could see all 3 of us, maybe I don't know, about that much on each car. It was pretty exciting. And I had no idea if I won or not.
Did you really didn't?
I didn't know. I asked the guys, I said, hey, as I'm coming down the backstretch, I said, hey, did we win? They're like, yeah. And then that's when I didn't know. No, because
was that close.
it was that close. I wasn't sure. So that's when I started hooting and hollering after that. Because it had been since, I don't think I had won since, well, I hadn't got the checkered flag and rode around the track, which I didn't get to do again because I had a flat tire.
Oh, wow. So that just means you got to do it again.
That's right. That's right. But I hadn't won like that since 2017. Now, I did win, I think in 21 because of a DQ.
Oh, yeah.
But I hadn't been able to do a victory lap for quite some time. So, yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
That
Oh,
didn't get
yeah.
victory lane anyway.
What's that?
You didn't get victory lane.
Yeah, I did this time.
In
I did this
21,
time.
Did you? Or
I did not. No, I didn't even get the trophy. I still don't have the trophy.
Oh,
for
really? You
that.
didn't get the trophy? I remember us talking about that.
It's all right, though. It's all good.
Mhm.
Well, no, I'd have to find a way to get that trophy.
Well, when through the race, I didn't watch the race. I obviously seen the little skit at the end, which, you know, I think in any of us here would always say that we would love to be a part of something like that, right? Because
Absolutely.
those are, you can remember a bunch of things, but people will always remember that, right?
But think about it. He edged out Wilson, who's won the championship, and
Oh,
Paul Lubno has won, numerous
the combined races that those 2 guys have won.
and he edged them out there. I mean, that had to be
That is a big deal, right?
No,
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Absolutely. Other than winning the championship long ago that I won, that is right up there with it. That is a big deal. That was.
And how many races in are you? Like this is what
This
you're.
is, I think, 5. That was my 5th race, or maybe my 4th or 5th race. So yes, that was, and you know, look, the car I'm driving is an excellent car.
Mhm,
So, you know,
That's the one that Jesse was driving a couple
that's
days
right.
ago,
It's Rick Hester. He owns
Mhm.
the car. Rick and Debbie Hester own the car.
So how did that deal come about?
So about 3 years ago, I approached, right about the time I got out of the Super Street, I approached Rick about driving his car. And he didn't really seem too interested back then. I'm not sure.
Maybe he
why.
watched your Super Street race. Maybe that's
maybe so. I don't know. Maybe I banged around too much, but so that didn't really work out. And you know, so I just kind of got out, and then I, you know, of course, built those U cars. I was like, man, I got to get back. So we built.
That's
the
right,
U
because
cars.
you quit there at one time,
quit.
right?
I did quit for about a half season. Yeah.
Oh, that lasted a long time.
Yeah, and then.
But I think we've all been there.
Yeah, of course. So we built those U cars. We were running U cars, and look, my sponsor, Mosquito Joe, he's one of the best guys you'd want.
He
to know.
is hilarious. I love listening when he comes up here and does with Brian. He is wide open,
And he's a great supporter, right? I mean, you
Oh my
notice
God,
that he's a great promoter, right? And
Absolutely.
I think you two are very good too. So that both of it makes it really good,
Absolutely.
a good fit for both of you, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely. I like to think that I earned my money from him for sure, with promotions and things like that. But the truth is, you know, 4-cylinder cars are cool, but he likes the 8-cylinder car.
Okay,
He loves the sound of those 8-cylinder cars.
So this was really kind of his idea.
Yeah, he really
Pushed for it.
and wanted it. And we had some discussions with some other teams for me to drive for them. Those didn't work out. So I kind of gave up on it. And actually, Tim Wilson, he's a good friend of mine. And Tim Wilson said, hey, why don't you talk to Rick again? And I said, dude, I already talked to him. And he said, I think you should talk to him again. And so we did that, and we worked it out this off season, and I think it's working out great. I didn't know Rick all that well before all of this, but I'd like to say he's a good friend of mine now.
That's
and,
good.
And I can see that he's enjoying it. He's having a lot of fun.
That's good.
It's been a while for him too. I think 2017 might have been his last time in Victory Lane with his own car.
Okay.
So back when Mark Fry was driving it. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's that
been a
car.
while.
Okay.
yeah. So he was his smile was this big on that night, and I was happy that I could do that.
Oh, absolutely.
was
That's
so
not like great
awesome.
paying
Just-
back, right?
yes,
And plus
yes.
Mosquito Joe's, right? I mean, that's.
Oh my God. And
That's a
he was
cherry on
just
the top.
going nuts. He was going nuts. And all these, I mean, I must have got 50 phone calls on Sunday. Congratulations, Facebook, phone calls, other things. It was really, really awesome.
Yeah. So I want to switch gears on you a little bit, because I think so many people on promotion side of it, I don't think they quite understand what a sponsor wants, right?
Absolutely.
And I think you have a good grasp for that. I think
Yes.
Mark Works is, I would say, is probably one of the best here. I know the story because you kind of told me. How did you get Mosquito Joe's?
Yeah, so that happened back when I was, it was really lucky. I know a lot of people think that we're related in some way or we were friends prior to, and that is just not the case at all. Back in 2017, I believe it was.
You were still in the Super Street.
I was in the Super Street, yeah. And we had the green and white car and orange back then. It didn't hurt that my car was green. But anyway, before that, we were at East Carolina and Dixieland. I was running there as well. And I always like to interact with the kids, right? I know that we're not rock stars, but to them, we are. And I get that, right? And I just always thought it was cool to meet somebody famous, right?
Yeah.
And so I used to give out these little Frisbees, right? I couldn't afford much. It was tough for me to afford racing as it was, but I bought these little Frisbees and put little number 22s on them and signed them for the little kids and had a good time. Well, he had just moved here from Iowa, or, had just started coming to the races, found the track and all that, and was actually looking to sponsor somebody and had no idea what he would do, what he was doing. He saw me in my full suit signing autographs for the kids, and he asked me, "Hey, what do you drive?" And I told him, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna keep my eye on you." And just that night, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I knocked somebody out of the way, not for the win, but for like third place. I knocked somebody out of give him the bump and run, whatever. And he just loved that. He's like, "Oh my God." He was yelling. I was parked right over here, over by the pole, by the fence. And he's yelling, "Oh, I'm gonna call you, buddy. I'm gonna call you." And so he called me up, and that first year he gave me a little bit of money to just put his logo on the quarter panel for the rest of the year. And then, see how that went. And he actually sponsored another car that year. And
that's right. I do remember. Yeah.
He did. And I think I knew that I needed to earn his trust and his business. And we made some plans. I talked to him. He likes to be involved, even though he's not involved, right? He doesn't set up the car. He doesn't work on the car. He doesn't know anything about the car. Okay. But he loves to hear me talk about it. Right, so he calls me every week, and we probably talk for a couple hours, and we're talking about this and that. And, he just wants to be a part of it, even if it's just talking about it.
Right.
So, we made a plan, and we got big Frisbees made, and we got T-shirts, and uniforms, and he loves it.
Does he just have one franchise, or?
So he, the franchise is owned by some folks in Virginia Beach, and there's many franchises throughout the country. And he owns the franchise that serves Richmond and the Peninsula, and everywhere in between.
So he's got two.
It's really one, but he serves those two areas.
Gotcha.
And everywhere in between. The South Side is a different guy.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't get my yard sprayed for free.
But he is so funny when he's up here. I mean, you can tell he is one and all mad dog. That's all he says the whole time he's up here.
Yes.
So he really likes doing that. I mean,
He just loves, like I said, he just loves to be, part of, in the know, right?
And Debbie said that's her car.
Okay.
She's the car owner. But no, I just love that how you went about it and how it worked out for you, because so many people, this ain't the 90s, right? The 90s, you could have a car and you could put so many sponsors and you didn't have to work for that money. Today is much different. You have to work social media. You have to be involved. And you going out into the stands and giving the Frisbees out, that makes the difference, right? That's
Absolutely.
the difference, right?
Absolutely.
And
How many people, let me ask you this. There's very few guys, I think everyone knows Bill AAKER and Mosquito Joe go together. They are the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Scott and Mark
Works and
the 55, right? Yeah.
Mark Works and Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Danny and Greg with their own business, but I'm not sure I could name most of some of the other cars unless it's their own business.
Right.
That you know what I mean, and
they're synonymous with them on a regular basis.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the way that you do that is by being seen, right? Being available, talking to people. You know, they just want to talk to you.
Yeah.
All the time, people, they just want to talk to you. They want to, just like my sponsor, they want to feel like they're part of it.
Right. Yeah. No, most definitely. And I love that part of the racing business, right? Because it is a business, right?
Yes.
I mean, we need resources, but we have to make sure they get a return on investment.
Absolutely correct. You can't just stick the sticker on the car and ride around.
No. And it kind of goes back. I know not everybody knows that Miles is my family, or is a family business that's related to me, but that's not the reason I have a sponsor, right? I would make sure that they got a return on investment. Our first year here, which we're very fortunate that they're kind of the only gutter company. I don't know of any other gutter company that sponsors anybody out here that I know of. I think we did $148,000 in business through the racetrack. They want to be involved with Langley Speedway because there's no other gutter company, right? And I would go do appearances, and then one time they came to me and they were like, "Hey, we need to pay you because we're paying our employees to stand there, and you're standing there for free." And I'm like, "No, I just need to make sure you're coming back next year. I need to make sure that I'm selling enough that you're getting enough return on your money that you're going to sponsor me next year."
Absolutely.
And I think so many people lose that part of it, and I don't think people realize how much work that is either. And I'm sure you can attest to that. And Mark Works, we've had this conversation several times, that how much. Mark posts a whole lot, right? It's not all what he really wants to do.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, we've had conversations where he's like, "Man, I think I'll make one more post today." It's a full-time job, and that has nothing to do with the physical racing side of the business,
Absolutely.
And that takes all the time that we all have, then some, if you want to be competitive.
That's right.
So I just love that side of the business, and I just want people to understand that those little things that like you did are extremely important.
Absolutely. I like to say I got to go earn my money, and I enjoy doing it. So
yes,
at least
you have a knack for it,
or at least the part where I interact with the fans. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, and like when I did arena racing, sometimes I would do stuff for the show, right? And I kind of, just because they got to be talking about you, right? And if they're talking about you, you're getting attention. And they like it.
Right?
Right?
Oh boy, you did that.
Yeah, I had a very natural ability there.
You did that. They talked about you.
Yeah, I mean, I would get out if I got in a wreck with somebody, I'd get out and go kick the car when they went by. One time I did it. I was like, I wasn't really mad, but I was like, I'm gonna, they're gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna kick the car. God, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely on purpose make a scene in amongst in arena racing just so people would talk about us.
Absolutely. But look, the fans come.
I mean, it came very natural, but
they
That's what I was getting ready to say.
They're coming here to see a show, and it's
right.
up to us to give them one.
Right.
But let me tell you something. Scott can give you one.
But the like with Mosquito Joe, that how he supports you and he loves that you knock somebody out of the way. So when I was arena racing, I talked to the hell's the damn burger, Johnny Rockets, where they used to give me when they go out for the top dog, they would give me a milkshake, right? And they would talk about the milkshake. Oh, damn, Scott's got one of the chocolate milkshakes going out, you know. And but the first time he would feed us every week, right? And yeah, he may not be giving us any physical money, but he's feeding us every week. That's money, right?
Right.
So our very first race, I get into it with somebody, and it was some younger kid. He wrecks me on half the lap, right?
Right.
You know, so I go over to his car under caution, and I'm like, dude, we ain't even made one lap. Like, calm the fuck down. Like,
Right.
we got to make one lap. You got to finish the race to finish first.
Right.
So we go up to get our free hot hamburgers and stuff, and the father comes over. He's like a 15-year-old kid. I didn't even go over there and chew him out. I just gave him a little bit of mouth. So his dad come over to me, and he's like, you ain't come over and talking to my 15-year-old son. I'm like, dude, shut up. We actually get heavily into an argument in front of the sponsor for the first time. Well, finally, one of my crew guys gets us, look, we're just going to disagree. Like, you go over there, let's get our food. So I'm like, fuck, this was a great impression. So no sooner than we turn around, he's like, sponsor's like, hey man, if you need me to Tanya Hardy somebody, you let me know. So it was like, they loved it.
I'm telling you, the guys, they love it. The sponsors, they just, most of the sponsors out here, not only do they want to, you know, make money and get advertising and things like that, but they're interested in the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
And they love
and it's a show.
things.
We are in the entertainment business.
That is absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, I would tell people, the dude had Sweet Frogs and he was winning a bunch of races. I emailed every damn ice cream company I could in Richmond trying to get somebody so we could get a rivalry going, you know.
Right.
And I was telling them, look, man, I'm not talking shit about you on the microphone. But that don't mean anything to it. I'm just trying to get something going, you know. Because it's all fun.
It's fun. Yes.
Now, Scott says all that he did that intentionally, but he didn't. He's left out a lot of stuff that he didn't do intentionally.
What's that?
That got a lot of attention.
Well, if I did it was probably intentional.
How about a championship that one guy
That was
didn't?
intentional.
Yeah, one guy didn't win a championship.
Intentionally.
Scott gets in it with this guy who's pretty much got the championship in hand, you know. And
here comes the last race.
He wrecked Scott. So in the last race, Scott waits. And somehow or other, he got spun or something happened.
Well, no. I told him he was finally going to start in front of me, and he did on the very last race. And, of course, on the driver's meeting, they were like, look, let these three guys, so Travis can thank me for his championship, too. They were like, let these guys race it out. I'm like, okay. So I never lifted in turn one and flipped him over.
Oh, jeez.
So then I was running third, and he chased me down, and then he
you
spun
out.
me, and then all I could see was red, so I creamed him
So
under
he-
caution.
So he creamed him. Wait a minute. He didn't. He's leaving a whole part out. He
What?
creamed him under caution, but he was going the opposite direction on the track.
You creamed him head on?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he sure did.
It wasn't really one of my proudest moments. I mean, obviously I did it intentionally, but I wasn't. That wasn't one of my
afterward, you're
proud.
kind of like, I wish
That's
I
probably
would've
what.
done
All I could see was red.
it.
And
Yeah.
then-
I was so mad at that
and
one.
What Ricky didn't say? Thankful that it was the last race of the season.
Well,
You-
nah,
okay.
I seen it with Richmond. He's like, Scott, you got away with one. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, Ray Charles knew what you were doing there. You got lucky. It kind of got forgot about with everything else. And Travis ended up winning the championship because they tied, and Travis won the last race. And that win gave him
The
the
extra.
championship. Yeah.
So anyway, well, we got a little something for you.
So mission accomplished.
Yes. Got a little something for you.
Hey,
The week you won,
look
you
at
were
that.
driver of the week.
Look at that. That is awesome. Thank you.
Now, if we signed that, that's worth twice the money.
I
Yeah, it's worth twice the money, so you still got nothing.
Well, I got to tell you, I've never even been considered for this award. So to win it.
Oh, really?
No.
No,
No, I
really?
don't think
You
I've
never
ever
won
been.
it? For some reason, I thought you had.
I
But
don't think so. I don't think
Well.
so. So I'm honored and thank you very much.
And this is a little something from us to you
Okay.
for winning the award.
Awesome. Thank you. Should I open it now?
Yes, open it up.
Okay.
you know, there's a shortage of everything,
Aha, look at that.
but there ain't a shortage
Ah.
of tumblers.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, who couldn't use a tumbler?
There ought to be enough for everybody to have. I think I got 1,500 in my cabinet. My wife uses.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I do.
Hey,
Yeah, that was a pretty nice honor. So
That was an amazing win that you got, and so it was.
Yeah,
Well,
and I think everybody
well
was happy
deserved.
for you, man,
Yeah, that
including
was
us.
awesome. That was awesome. But now I got to do it again. That's
Mhm.
right. Everybody done forgot about it now.
No, ain't nobody forgot about it. Everybody's still talking about it.
No, I think that one will live on for.
Well,
I mean, I definitely, and certainly, like I said before, I think everybody would love to be a part of those moments.
yes,
in
that
a
was
career.
awesome to be a part of that.
Now, I mean, it sucks to be those other two, because in those moments,
Well,
you want to be the winner, you know.
Just the very next week, Paul got me on the last lap and beat me by that much
Is that right?
for second place. Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. I mean, you know, I definitely wasn't as aggressive as I could have been. So, you know, I got some
but you won
to do.
but you won the other week.
Yeah,
So,
I did.
you can afford to be a little less.
I definitely got a little ways to go, but I feel like I'm definitely on the right track.
Mhm.
You know, we're kind of feeling each other out. He's understanding how I need the car to be to drive it
So
well.
who's crew chief and who's the setup guy?
So this is Rick's car. Rick does most of the setups.
Okay.
But I do have my crew that turns the wrenches, right? Rick tells us what to do.
Mhm.
And
So
my
Debbie's in charge.
My bad. Yeah, Debbie's in charge.
Debbie's the owner.
Yeah.
Right.
Rick might do the rest of it.
Rick is the one that sets the car up and all of that. But my crew, Kenver Teeter, he's my crew chief, and he's the one that turns all the wrenches. He's the one that's been fixing the U car the last 2 weeks. We had a fuel injection problem the day I won, and then we had an alternator problem the very next week, and he fixed the car both times. Got us back out on the track. He can fix just about everything, so he is awesome. Carson is my setup guy for the U car, and he's learning some things from Rick, you know, and
Does any of the stuff from the Super Street translate over to that? I've heard they're so completely different.
they're pretty different. Yeah, I mean, there's some things, but you know, the different springs. Just the fact that you're using 12-inch springs on Super Street and 9-inch or any spring, whatever spring you want on a Super Street just makes it completely different. And then of course my spotter, Big Mike. He's always there for me. And
Big Mike Canary?
No, not Big Mike.
Oh, okay.
The other Big Mike Fay.
Okay.
But Big Mike Canary, Mike Canary and Jesse Jones were one of the first ones to be down there in Victory Lane that night, congratulating me. That was so awesome. They were just as excited as
well, it don't take much to get them excited.
No, they might have had a few
came here one time. I'm like, did y'all ride up here with Cheech and Chong? Or but Tim Wilson says you can use that with your cool suit.
He gives me crap about. So I've never worn a cool suit ever. Sammy, Sammy gave. I mean, last year I'm getting older, and there was one rough weekend. It was rough. I was very hot afterwards, and Sammy gave me his old shirt that he didn't fit into anymore. So we spent the winter, and I didn't want to spend the money for the rest of the equipment that goes with it. It's like $1,000, $1,500. So I figured out how to make it myself, and so we did. And Tim always gives me crap about my cool shirt.
I figured
I need a cool shirt.
They're nice.
They are. I didn't know what I was missing because I turned that thing on. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, Tim, you can laugh all you want, but.
So you don't think we'll see Tim with one?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Well, Bill, we appreciate you being with us, coming out here and being here tonight.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations on your win, and let's go get some more.
I mean, more importantly, he's driver of the week. I mean,
I
mean, that trumps any win.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I wasn't going to say it out loud either.
But thank you for the opportunity, and again, thank you for the award.
You got any of the sponsors? I mean, I know you got one good sponsor.
Yeah, I definitely got. You got to thank Mosquito Joe, as we talked about. Mosquito Joe. I don't really have any other sponsors, but of course the Hesters for giving me the opportunity to drive their car.
More important,
that is a bit. Yeah.
I know who to suck
Look,
up
that's
to.
a big deal, right? I mean,
No,
I have 2 cars I don't let too many people drive my other car. You know what I mean? And
Well, I know somebody's over here looking
yeah,
for.
I know one person wants to. But you know, that's a big deal to trust somebody with their car. And
Because that's a lot of money, right? I mean,
that's right. And so I really appreciate them trusting me,
Mhm.
and it's my job to respect that.
Mhm.
And like I said, I enjoy every minute. We have a great time in the garage over there. I wish we would have got together 2 years ago, to be honest, but that didn't work out. But
You're here now.
that's right. I'm here now, and I'm here to stay. And those guys better watch out. Once I get a little
Tim, you hear that?
Yeah.
You might want to get you a cool suit.
But anyway, yeah. So thanks, guys.
Thank you. We
All right.
appreciate you coming. Let's get the guy over there that's wanting to buy your wanting to drive your other car.
Your new driver. You're walking like me.
Well, you know.
Well, the last time I saw this guy here, Lord, he scared me. I didn't know what the heck he was doing.
What was that?
He scared me. Well, last time I saw this guy, we were in an elevator at the banquet.
Yep.
And you were,
Did y'all get stuck in the elevator?
no,
No.
he was kind of crippled at the
I
time.
was crippled at the time.
So it's good to see you out walking about now and driving race cars again. So that's pretty cool. Deal.
Yeah, I'm hopping along a lot. I'm still recovering.
What'd you do to your foot?
Well, in the second legend race here last year, I got shoved down in turn 3. And I had my foot on the brake when I come in contact with some concrete, and it actually broke my ankle.
Mm.
And it was a minor break, and they let me go and did injections and this and that and therapy, and none of that worked. So finally in December they said, we got to cut on it. Well, they said in like October. Then right after Christmas they cut me open, and yeah. Then I was in a cast with my knee scooter.
Yep.
I was wheeling around. Yeah, it's actually they want to do my right foot because I hopped around so long with my right foot because the left foot couldn't walk on it. Now my right foot's messed up from hopping.
Mm.
So the doctor's like, hey, we're going to do your right foot in December or January. I said, I don't know about that. The left one ain't where I want it to be yet. So me and the doctor still we're at odds.
So okay, well,
we're at odds with going back in the shipyard someday.
So what's it like to live with Crystal? You know, as good a driver as she is. I mean, I heard she's called you out, and that you can't keep up with her in a U car.
Yeah, she's called me out. She said I can't keep up with her in a U car, and I keep telling her that she don't stand a chance. I just got to find a car.
I was just wondering what it was like Liv be the second best driver at the house.
I'm telling you. You don't
I
understand.
mean, you know, she came on here and talked a lot of trash about
Oh, yeah.
Wacky Wednesday and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you were.
Yeah, I know. She talks all the trash all the time. I keep telling her she keeps talking trash, and she's going to go in there and turn left, and the car's going to turn right. Like,
I don't know. I think the crew chief's got to fix it, so I don't think he'll do that.
No, I told her don't tear it up. I got way too much going on to fix it if she tears it up. So just don't tear it up.
So give us a little update on what, you know, what's this thing about you wanting to, you know, you wanting to get in the car, in Bill Aker's car,
Well,
that he's not going to let you drive.
yeah.
Hey, they don't call us pot stir for nothing.
So she says that she will beat me if we
Oh.
ran in the same class at the same time. And I told her that will not happen. And she said, I will put a bumper to you. And I said, you have to get to me before you can put a bumper to me.
She said when she's lapping you, she's going to do it.
So I
she
told her,
said, bring it on. She said, ask to see your toes. What's up with your toes?
don't ask. It's my poor foot. So
I'm not going to go any
I'm
further.
wondering just
Don't
a foot
ask.
fetish going on here.
Yeah. So I told her, I said, let me find a car and then I'll show you how to drive it.
Mm.
So Dustin had a car, but Dustin, I think it's buried in his garage. I said, maybe I can drive Christian's car. She said, no, that's not fair. She said, he's showed up like 3 or 4 times and won 3 or 4 times. You can't drive Christian's. I killed that. I said,
Maybe
well,
let her drive Kristen's and you drive hers. I think that would be fair.
yeah, hey, I'd be okay with that too. And I was like, well, hang on, Bill's got a second car. I'll get Bill's second car.
And
Okay.
Bill, he,
Yeah, he said, he said no. So her car is plenty good. And I keep telling her car is good. I go out and she's like, I think it was 2 weeks, the last race, or race before last. She said, there's something wrong with it. Okay. I go out there. Man, it's got a little vibration. I said, Chris, there's nothing wrong. It's on the top of the board in times in practice, in second practice. I said, you need to drive it. So I said, the car's plenty fast.
You just need to drive it.
Yeah, I tell her all the time, learn to drive the car. I drive it plenty fast. I ran like a 19.2. I'm like, she hops in her car and she ran like a 19.8. I'm like, you just have to drive it harder. Then she said, it's not turning. I said, it's because you're not driving it in hard enough. So, yeah.
Dwight said a Hooters car? What car is that?
Dwight has a car. I hadn't thought about Dwight, but he's had somebody else driving his car. I think Woody drove it, and Ryan Vincent drove it, I think, the last race.
Sounds like there might be an opportunity here to get your ass whooped.
Yeah. I don't know if I can fit in his car. I mean, Dwight's a pretty big dude. We had to do a lot of modifications to that one. But, yeah.
Dwight's good at unlocking your truck if you lock your keys in it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Scott's done it enough. He already done it.
Not once either.
So what happens if you lock the keys in the Tesla?
Well, that just hooks up to your phone. So
Oh, you just hit the button and
you just walk to the car with your phone.
what phone's in the car?
Wait, you got a credit card in your pocket.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Just put up to
you, as long as you have something, you can get in it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering how that worked. But yeah, I don't know. We'll one of these days I like to show her what to do with it.
Yeah.
But she's in a points battle, so she won't let me play. She's like, I want to get to top 5 in points. Well, she missed the first race because the motor locked up.
Well, that's the crew chief's problem.
Don't say that because I was the one driving it when it locked up.
What's that got to do with you driving?
Well, so
Oh,
opening night.
He over-revved it.
No, opening night. I came in turn 2. I don't even think she was even here yet. And I was driving it to pre-tech. I have to do first race of the year. I'm driving to pre-tech. I go down the backstretch, no problem. I downshift a second, going in, coming on pit road, going, and that was it. Locked the cams in the head.
Like an oil problem to me.
I had a tow mater push me all the way back out. I'm like, well, we need to make it to pre-tech. I was like, well, that's the end of this. So, oh well. So she's been behind ever since. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Well, you know what I think you ought to do? I think you ought to give her a shot driving your
She said Dwight don't want to mess his car up.
Yeah, she says that all the time. I told her, I said, trust me, you don't want those problems. That car's enough of a handful. Trust me, you don't want those problems.
So what's it been like for you to go out there and get involved with that this year? I mean,
Um,
you've done a lot of other things, but I mean,
yeah.
Is there anything you haven't raced out here?
Trucks. I ran a U-Car race last year. I haven't ran trucks. I haven't ran Pro 6.
you can do Pro 6 now. Scott's not racing, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it up the other day. Somebody asked me. I ran Legends from 2005 to 2022. I'm saying like 17, 18 years. Quite honestly, it was just time for a change, so. But I miss my Legend. Anybody ask me, I miss it. I'm like, I should have sold it. But I didn't have enough place to keep a Legend and a Limited and a U-Car. I didn't have all that space, so. I miss the Legend, I will say that. It is still, in my personal opinion, the best handling car I've ever been in. It is a driver's car.
The Legend?
Yes.
Really?
It is a driver's car. Small adjustments mean a lot, and you have to drive it. The Limited, things like driving a daggone tank.
So, how old are you?
36.
You're 36. Does it piss you off at all to see guys like Jacob Derrick and Aiden Milet and all them guys outrunning you every week? I mean, doesn't that piss you off?
No, I can't
Does
say
everybody not give you a hard time?
Yeah, everybody does. But to be fair, no. I think the problem, I had higher hopes for myself going into it this year. I will say that. But it's had to overcome that you can't drive that car like I drove a Legend. And I got 17 years of Legend habits. And I come off turn 2 and I'm hammered down and I burn the right rear up. I burn it up bad. And I've got better. The last 2 races, race before last, I was behind Cody Bryant. Dad's in my ear, lap 10. Go get him. You're turning faster lap times than he is. Go after him. Nope, I ain't doing it. And I held right behind Cody. I I want to maintain. I'm like, I don't want to burn the right rear off of the car. Then the caution come out and the car went to hell in the handbag. So that was into that. And then this past week, did really good. I was running 7th. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing good. And then I killed the right rear. Lap 30, I'm on there. Clayton's on the radio yelling at me, clear by 10. I come off turn 4, clear by half. I had her hung out off of turn 2 sideways. He's like, well, you just lost 9 cars. I'm like, yeah, well, I killed the right rear. And that has been the biggest problem, learning how not to kill the right rear. As I was talking to Riley, we were loading out of here Saturday night, and Riley said, you have to put an egg between your shoe and the gas pedal, and don't crush the egg. I'm like,
he's very opinionated.
I love Riley. I call him my son. I'm like,
Lord, I'm gonna get him.
I told him, I said, you realize when you were born, I was 20. I could be your daddy.
I think that's about everybody here.
Yeah, I'm like, I tell him all the time. He's like, you gotta be easy on the gas. I'm like, I'm trying, but I can't make no hay being easy on the gas. So I'm trying to be better with it.
See, you can hire
get
him
turned a little bit more.
You can hire him as a driver coach because he said he thinks he's better than everybody else out there.
Well, he's got Phil in his back pocket.
So you're saying that Phil's the reason why he does it?
He's got good driving coaching.
Yeah.
He's got good driver coaching.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But me and Riley had it going on this past week. I'm gonna tell you, we always talk smack back and forth to each other. So I came up to him after practice and said, I beat you in practice, in second practice. He said, don't count us. All right. I went up there, out-qualified him. He started behind me. I said, oh, I out-qualified you. And me and him, his mom are standing there. He said, it don't matter. Pay window don't open till lap 50. I was like, all right.
He's always got something to say.
He's got a good, smart comeback for everything.
He dropped out like lap 27.
Oh.
I beat him. He come over. He's like, he shook my hand. He's like, you beat me. I was like, that is not the way I really wanted to beat you there,
But
Riley.
the surprising thing about Riley is he's doing really well in the modifieds.
Yeah, no,
And he's struggling in the Virginia races this year.
He calls it his sophomore slump.
Well, he's slumping. There ain't no doubt about that. He's slumping.
Yeah, it's the limited is a very challenging thing to do. We're on a piece of crap American Racer tire. I hate that tire. My buddy Joe runs Super Street. He said, man, every time Virginia racers go out and practice and we have to follow them, it's just greasy.
Yeah.
The track is junk.
There's no grip.
Yeah.
There's no grip on it. That's how you think it feels to drive. It has no grip. Yeah, I'm like, I hate driving it. But and then he's like, well, we go to Hoosier, but it's going to cost more money. I said, I don't even care at this point. Give me a good Hoosier.
Yeah, I don't see them changing tires anytime soon. I think they want to keep it so that people can go back and forth, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah,
Nobody's going back and forth.
That's the thing.
There ain't a single car I think's going back and forth.
I mean, I think the option is there. Well, I think Riley and them.
Riley went up
did
there
last.
once.
This year?
He went up there once this year and it got rained out.
What about Andrew? Does he run up there?
No.
Yeah.
And nobody's.
Oh, he's completely down. You're Andrew
Yeah.
Condrick, he's completely down here now.
Yeah. Riley went up there once this year. I actually went up there to watch him run. And I got there and 10 minutes later it started raining. Rained out. I come back home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nesters or whatever, they ran up there, last year before
They
came
did?
here.
I didn't know they did.
Yeah.
They were racing up there for a couple of years.
Mhm.
And they, but nobody from up there has come down here. Nobody from here is going there. I bought the car to go back and forth, but I told him, I said, I don't want to go up there until I figure this place out, figure out what I want to do with the car. So we're getting better. The last 2 weeks, I've been top 5 in practice, top 7, top 8 in practice the last 2 weeks. So we're getting the car figured out, what to do with it. I'd be good in practice. As soon as we throw the qualifying tires on, race tires, throw it away. Junk. So
Well, I think you'd be better off just let Crystal drive it. And you could probably get all those bugs worked out of it.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure all the bugs get worked out. Yeah, all the cobwebs too. Shake everything loose in it.
Pop said you fry an egg.
Yeah, you fry. Cameron Patrick told me that about Legend when I first got it. He said you have to drive it like it's egg on the pedal. You can't throw the power down. But you can throw the power down on the Legend now. The FZ09 motor, it ain't got the torque, so you could hammer it down. And that's what I got used to. You come in the corner, right in the center, hammer it down and let it drive off. You ain't doing that in the limited. So,
I mean, but that limited class is very attractive, right? I mean, there's a lot of people getting into it.
man, it's insane. Me and Dad, after the 2 legend wrecks, we looked at the limited and we're like, I'm gonna make it. I got mad. I'm like, I'm tired of getting tore up. I'm done. I want something else. I want to do something else. And we looked at Virginia racers or limiteds and modifieds. And really the only determining factor was I didn't want an open wheel car.
Mm-hmm.
I've been running legend open wheel so long. I said, I honestly just want something different.
Yeah.
I said, limited it is. And it was about 10 cars, fairly clean racing through the whole field. And I'm like, okay, these guys ain't tearing a whole lot up.
Yeah.
Open night this year, they tore everything up on the first lap at the green flag. So luckily I wasn't in that. But, you know, and now we went from 10 cars to now we're averaging, what, 15, 16?
Yeah.
I think we've had as much as 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cars. So, I mean, the field's grown a lot. I'm not complaining about that. I just got to get myself better and get the car better. But I've had some help recently. Tommy Spencer, that owns Riley's car.
Yep.
Me and him were standing over in the crow's nest at Hampton Heat. We were just chatting because, well, it's a long race. And me and him were talking. He's, mind if I come by, take a look? I said, sure, Tommy, come on by. So Tommy come by on Monday and looked at it. He said, I think we could do a few things different. So me and Tommy got together and changed some things around. And ever since then, the car's kind of gradually going back up. I'm like, all right, we're getting somewhere now.
Yeah.
So
Tommy's pretty good. I mean, and Tommy's a hell of a fabricator.
yeah, he taught me. He said, you got to do the sway bar like this and weld the brackets this way and load it this way. And I'm like, what? If you say so. And he's like, the roll center does this and the roll center does that. And you can move the roll center by doing it. I'm like, I ask him all the time. I called him Saturday. I said, Tommy, it's tight off the corner. He said, all right, well, do this. Make this change. Move this. I'm like, okay. I go over. Car's great for the race. So I just shoot him a text or call. And he's like, hey, yeah, do this or do that. And the car is really responding a whole lot better the last 2 weeks. And I've had a lot of problems here recently. I've had transmission seals coming out. I missed the twin night over a transmission. I had a bad vibration from a drive shaft. I had the drive shaft lengthened. Then the drive shaft was too long. Then I missed the twin night because I didn't have the drive shaft back in the car.
Damn.
So I missed the twin night because of a drive shaft. And
I don't think Crystal had all those problems.
yeah. Then the alternator went out.
I mean, the motor blew up on him to begin with. I mean,
Yeah.
it might be it's common denominator here.
I can't.
Now there's somebody just put. I mean, I ain't gonna call his name.
Uh-huh.
That has a good idea for you.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Let Scott shake it down for you."
That's a smart guy, right there.
Smart guy.
But if you ever do that,
Uh-huh.
you need to sit down and have an orientation lesson because he has a problem not knowing which pedal to push.
Oh.
We worked past that, Jack.
Oh.
Huh?
We worked past that.
Yeah, a whole bunch of passed you there when you did that.
I think we had that problem Saturday night because I don't know if somebody missed a shift Saturday night. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Aiden, it going in turn one,
Aiden did.
all was a mess. I don't know if you've seen the video. Matt Morgan or Kevin Morgan went up underneath of me and spun.
Oh wow!
Did you see how close he was to taking me out with him?
Yep, he almost got you.
He almost got me.
But that was when Aiden missed the shift completely, and he just everybody stacked up.
I will say it's crazy how good these little kids are or have been. Of course, most of them have really good health.
Yeah,
I mean they do.
Yeah.
I mean you gotta give credit where credit's due.
Oh yeah.
But you still have to drive it fast.
Well,
and as young as these kids are, and as fast as they've adapted to it,
yeah.
is really good.
Well, we kind of got a rolling saying with the year start off with which late model teams will have a limited winning with Mark and Jacob. Aiden now's got Walt's helping them. They're like everybody's got somebody else helping somebody else.
Yeah,
I think Carol started off helping Aiden. I think, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
So every I ain't gonna say every limited team.
Then you got Danny and Greg, and you
Danny
got
and Greg,
Edwards,
yep.
and you got Phil. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's like they're not
Everybody's
racing in it, but they definitely
Yes.
got interest in it in
Yes.
some car. And I think I think Mark's helping a couple of people.
I don't know who else is. I know besides Jacob.
You know, Mark Works.
Yeah,
He's with Jacob, Derek, and
he is
so
helping.
it's another one out there he's
Yeah.
helping too, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head.
There is somebody else.
Yeah.
Garrett Bird's got helping from Tommy now.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So, but it's kind of like all the limited teams are associated. I even say all of them.
It's like the Busch Series, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are associated with the Cup teams, right?
Yeah.
the hard to
Somebody's
beat, and they are going to be. I mean, they are.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much the same cars, so it
Right.
kind of say that it doesn't carry over. I tried putting late model stuff on my car, and it does not work.
No, because I mean, hell, I mean, what are y'all qualifying times? Are y'all
Low 17s?
Yeah, I mean, our Pro 6s are the same speed, or actually probably just a tick better.
Yeah, the Pro 6 got a whole bunch of tire, not a lot of power.
Right.
We got decent amount of power,
no
tire.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, there's some stuff that carries over. The chassis is the same. Suspension's completely different. I ain't gonna say suspension's completely different, but shocks are different, tires are different, ride heights are different.
Y'all have a ride height bull?
Yeah,
Cool.
4-inch. Yeah, so we're not going in there and sitting on bump stops and letting it ride. So you know,
Yeah, but them top cars are getting it down on the ground.
that's half of it now.
I mean, you watch you go over there. It's funny because I seen the guy Jimmy Humlet was driving for. I know him. I'm like, dude, y'all shit's like this high off the ground going through the corner. Everybody else is and the nose is sealed off. You got to work on the front end. You got to do something.
We finally got mine down on the ground. I was like, heck, do we want to put the little splitter, little plastic trim on the front? Well, no, you ain't worry about that because I didn't scrape the bottom of the bumper off, bar the air down. You get the nose down on the ground, but it pops right back up. Unlike late models, they don't pop back up. Ours pop back up, so they don't hold down. So that's them Coney shocks for you.
Yeah.
The Coney shocks.
All right, well, who all sponsors you, Guard? Give your sponsors a shout out. Whoever helped you with the car.
And thank your driving coach, Crystal.
Oh yeah, my I thought it was Riley.
Yeah.
Well, he's interviewing for the job.
Oh, I mean, Riley's interviewing for the job, and Crystal's the driver coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
For right now.
No, Crystal's the owner.
Oh. The owner of my headache.
I'm not going to get in there.
Yeah. So I have a heating and air business. I started up. So that's my heating and air business is the primary sponsor now. S&W. I started that basically when I went out of shipyard with my broken ankle. Because, well, I didn't have no income. I'm not a workman's comp, so I had no income. Had to do something. Best Paws in town, pet grooming, Poor Girls, Bar and Grill, downtown Hampton. West Plumbing, my dad helps us out. He covers my tires, and I cover most of the car, all the other stuff to go with it. So Mark Irwin, State Farm, which is, I guess that's kind of competing with Atlee Weiss because his dad has a State Farm thing too. Funny that I sold Atlee Weiss my legend car. So I got Mark Irwin with State Farm. I got a ceramic coating guy out of Florida, Justin. He gives me some ceramic coating stuff to make the car look good. So that's about it. I'm pretty much hanging out on my own at the moment. So we're doing the best we can do. And we're doing all right.
That's all you can do.
My finishes are getting better. I said, all right. I was kicking myself Saturday night. I was sitting in 7th, and I killed the right rear, and I faded to 10th. And the race before last, I was 9th. And the race before that, I was 10th. I was like, all right, so 10th, 9th, now I'm up to 7th. And I killed that right rear lap 35 last week.
Put some bite in the car.
And I was kicking myself in the car. I'm like, I killed it. And Clayton's yelling at me, they're coming, they're coming. I'm like, I can't do nothing.
I'm just hanging on.
I was hanging on for dear life, trying to keep the right rear under the car. And I was so mad. I got in the car, and Chris was like, you all right? I said, I'll be fine. Give me 10 minutes. And I was just kicking myself. I'm like, I killed the right rear. I know what I did. I killed it. But I got to stop killing it. So better find a better tire. I don't know what to do about that. So, but I haven't done, I don't know if y'all about the wacky. I haven't done no wacky stuff.
No.
All right, now I'm not getting involved in this last comment at all either.
Oh, hang on, we got reading.
I'm not getting involved in this one at all either.
Well, he's got a nice Tesla to ride home with anyway.
I ain't getting involved with that one.
Yeah. But now.
Well, she put that right out there.
Yeah, I know. She says it all the time.
She wants to go home with Scott.
No, she wants me to go home with Scott. She's going to keep the house.
Oh, I thought it was she was going to come. Okay.
Yeah, she don't want me to come home. Well,
Yeah, I can.
she can't get so mad at me. I had the key to the shop where her U car is,
And you work on her, you
and I work on it. So she can't get.
And
so
you
mad.
better get it right because you obviously ain't got
And
something
holding her
right.
back.
Yeah.
When the crew
I
chief
guess.
holds it back, it's a pretty bad deal.
Yeah, I guess it's always the crew chief's problem.
Well, you know, that's the first rule of racing, right? It's always somebody else's fault. Rule number one.
Yeah, and rule number one: somebody else's fault. No.
All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank Bill Aker for being here with us tonight. Eric Folks was supposed to be here, but he got tied up at work, and we're going to reschedule him. And we're glad Sparky came out here. Even that Crystal let him come and be here tonight.
And still no U-car ride, but he's working on it.
I'm working on it. I
we,
keep petitioning for one.
we know where one ain't going. We've already been apprised of that situation. All right. Next week, might as well go and put it out there. Next week will be Scott, and it will be our 400th show that we've done. And
How I put up with you this long, I mean, I just don't know.
What year did this start?
8.5 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
Damn.
Because I went back and pulled it
I need a
all up.
fucking plaque.
For putting up with it.
You know, with friends like him, I don't need a whole lot of enemies. So I'm the one that should be getting out of black. Because especially after, don't never go nowhere with him. That's a problem.
Oh, I've heard. I've already heard about
Don't
that.
go nowhere with him.
I've heard.
But anyway, will be our 400th show next week. Got a special show lined up. We got a real special announcement to come out next week. So everybody needs to pay attention because I'll just give a little bit of it. It may help a lot of people or help some people next year if you pay attention and get involved in what we have going on. But I want to, next week, we're going to have Brian Morehouse from 811 is going to be here. Going to have Lenny Baticki from PRN is going to be with us. And as a matter of fact, he's going to be here this weekend.
Oh, is he?
He's going to be here for this weekend. And also,
You got a hall pass for the weekend? Are you coming?
yeah, I'll be.
That's a second.
Who else is coming, man? You done made me forget.
Bill Mullis.
Bill Mullis is going to be here. Brendan Queen is going to call in
If
next
he's
week.
got enough gas to get here.
Well, he's not coming here, so he
He's
don't.
gonna call in. Call in from the
He's
shop.
got to call in.
I had to say, hey, are you on the side of the road with the gas?
But he's down having a good time at the beach, so you know he's.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some videos of that.
So,
So,
It looked like what you call it? Flagman.
Shane Snyder.
Shane.
It looked
And
and Ricky. They
Ricky.
look like they're having a good time.
They're having a
too.
great time.
I ain't gonna say anything about that.
We're gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not something I'm gonna get to talking about too much. And we'll also have Aiden Ziedrich is gonna be back with us next week.
Oh, look at Brandy.
So that'll be fun to have them here.
Yeah.
And,
Thank God for Brandy and gets for a little entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But just so next week there's going to be some we're working on how can I say this without giving it away? There's going to be some sponsorship sort of giveaways in a way for 2024. So if you guys want to watch next week's show, how you can be eligible for it. And it's going to be a decent thing. There's going to be,
and it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a big thing. Something it's not coming from us. We're just part of it. We're not coming. It's not coming from us. We're part of it. But it's really going to be big it could be big to a couple people that may need some help. So it'll be a big deal for them. So tune in next week. We're going to celebrate our 400th show.
I'm sure everybody here could use some sponsorship for 2024, right?
Just keep on talking. You're gonna let it go here in a minute.
Well, they'll know to check in.
So anyway, all right, that's our show for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and share our show, and we'll see you next week for show number 400.